We'll start with Tyrese.
Let's do Tyrese.
So Tyrese was on Sway. I'm sure both of y'all seen that.
Sway in the morning.
Sway in the morning, and he's basically just let everything out about what happened in his previous marriage. You know, there was a lot of, but not only that, he also let us know about his mental health and like
I didn't, which I don't think a lot of people knew.
Yeah, because like we seen those memes and those videos going around about him saying, "What more do you want from me?" You know, which was funny.
Right.
Which is funny, but if you don't necessarily know the lore behind it, it's just like, oh, you know. And so the lore goes like, he doesn't drink or smoke. He doesn't do any drugs. Why? Because his parents, his mother and his father, were alcoholics or so. And so he doesn't want to live a life that's basically reflective of their negative behaviors. And so when he was going through he basically was explaining how he did so much for his relationship and his marriage. And he got, he was, losing sleep. He was stressed out. And so doctors prescribed him medicine. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure the name of the drug, but they gave him a particular type of drug.
It's like Rexulti something like that.
Yeah. And so they gave him that drug, and thus he started wilding. Like he said, like it damaged a lot of relationships that he had with people, because he was saying how Will Smith, he
gave him like $50,000.
No, it was like millions.
$5 million
like,
or something.
It's like $3 or $5 million.
Yeah, Will Smith, give me $5 million. He said, ain't none of this happened.
Crazy.
Just made it up.
And also because he was in court fighting for his child, and it was just so much that it compounded. It was stress on top of having these drugs, and you're losing your mind. You don't know what's going on, and your woman that you love is leaving you, and she's not giving a reason why.
Mel, I think you're mixed. Those are two different stories, because he's been married twice.
I'm only talking about one marriage.
Right, but when he was doing the "What more do you want from me?" that was because his first wife had filed charges against him for like abuse to his child.
Abuse? Oh, I thought it was just taking the child away.
No. He spanked her.
Oh yeah, he
you're still giving a synopsis of the interview.
I just didn't want.
I didn't want to go super into detail.
I just wanted to make sure that people knew there was two marriages, because two women have done things to him.
Was the first one married? Was he married to the first one? Or did he just have a child with her?
No, I'm pretty sure they were married. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. But they at least had a child, and they were living together.
Yeah,
they had a
I don't know if they were married.
He had a child from his previous marriage, and then
was a marriage?
Yeah, or relationship,
whatever.
And that's the child that he was like. He got court ordered to be separated from her, but he like flew a plane over her school.
It's crazy.
To let his daughter know that I still care for you and stuff. But all this time he was on drugs, and so he was out of his mind. And now he's in a situation where I guess he's in a good relationship. I'm not sure how y'all feel about that, but
we can talk about it.
Yeah. But that particular first one, I was like, man, he's like pouring his heart on this damn interview, man. He's going in. And also I was thinking like, man, he's an actor, so he's actually probably putting a little sauce on it.
He's always putting a little sauce on it.
Yeah. But I thought his story was very powerful, of how he was in a relationship with this woman and dedicated himself to this marriage. And there was absolutely nothing that he could do that can convince her to stay or to work on this marriage, because he even gave an example of how I think it was her friend or maybe a psychiatrist was about to leave her marriage, but she wouldn't let her friend who was about to leave her marriage go until they were able to work out their marriage. And then the person comes out this little psychiatry session, and then sees all the bags packed in Tyrese's ex-wife home. They see all these bags packed, and she was trying to get an understanding, like what's going on. Like, yeah, me and Tyrese, we're just we're about to grab a few stuff. Basically, she's not keeping it 100 about the issues that's happening in her relationship. So you're trying to fix someone else's relationship, but you're not even trying to put that exact same of time and dedication into your own.
Correct.
And I'm just like, that is insanity, man.
Dude, the whole thing to me was ridiculous. It was very hurtful for me, and being married previously, and the song, what the song is, I don't think you ever loved me,
Yeah.
right? And
Did you listen to it?
Yeah,
I didn't listen to it.
you didn't?
No,
Why?
I just didn't.
Just
listen
didn't
to
have to. Okay. But that hit me because, something that a lot of people do. I mean, why would you know this? But so after, I ended up separating from my wife, right? And for good reason. And 5 weeks later, she was in a Facebook official relationship. Facebook official. And it's just like, bro, how is this even possible? Like you never even left the house. You never, how did this even come about? And it made me, I mean, I got emotional just, when he was talking about it. And then I listened to the song and I'm just like, bruh, like I was killing myself for this woman. And for you to just like, how could you easily just walk away so easily? Even if I'm the one that said, nah, right?
Right.
And even when I said no, I didn't just end my marriage and say, we're done. It was like, yo, this isn't going to work. We have to do, you know what I'm saying? We're married though. We live
Right.
together. Like, okay, well, she was in a hotel. Like, okay, well, maybe let's talk. Well, can we work it out? Right. It was just like, okay. And it just goes back to show like when we had that conversation about how women can just turn off love, just turn the switch. And she still loved me. She still does today. Right. Sucks for you. Anyway, but that switch, was just she turned it off, and she said, "Well, I'm gonna go right." And of course, it's coping, which I think probably leads us into another part of this conversation. But the thing that hurt me the most, other than that, just emotionally for me, was that she didn't give him a reason.
Yeah. Right.
That was just like when I said, "Wait a minute." I kept listening. I started listening more intently, like. You're telling me that you don't know why she left you? Especially after he was talking about during COVID, he spent 10 months doing date night on Instagram.
Yeah.
They weren't traveling. He literally said, I'm going to give all of my energy, focus, and attention and put it on you. I mean, he's international, multi-millionaire, superstar, Tyrese Gibson, movie actor. And it's just like, and I get it, right? People, relationships fail or whatever. But for her to leave him and then not even tell him why,
bruh, that's a different level of like mind games. Like,
and this goes to my point. I think she was there for the bag.
of course, she didn't love him.
I think she was there for the bag. I think she played long ball. I think that she, first of all, Tyrese is in love with the idea of being in love. So he's really a sap.
I agree.
Yeah. So it doesn't take much. All you got to do is get his attention and and then you're locked in. She saw an opportunity because none of this was an issue until after they had the baby. Once they had the baby and she's a wife, now that's child support,
right,
or alimony or whatever, and she's locked in.
Yeah.
So what reason does she need to give? She doesn't need and this is the problem with the justice system in America, because I know they're going through something legally. I know that for 100% fact. There's no way.
Ain't no way she's walking away from that just with nothing.
Right. So, but what does the court say? Well, you can leave due to irreconcilable differences or basically for no reason.
Yeah.
You can leave for no reason and still get half.
especially in Cali.
Cali's crazy.
I think they're in Atlanta.
He lives in Atlanta now, but I think they were in Cali, or he had a house.
Were they?
He has two
During COVID,
residents.
I think he moved to Atlanta.
Yeah, they moved to Atlanta.
Hopefully, because I think Cali's the worst.
Yeah, Cali's crazy.
So hopefully they weren't in Cali, or you know how it is, man. We'll see with the justice system. Even if you move, you still have residency in the other place. You got to be there for a certain amount of time.
Didn't he say that he filed? No, maybe that's a different conversation.
I mean, it happened to me when I was going for what's it called, custody. And we weren't in Delaware long enough, and the judge was literally like, "Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this situation is rough, but I don't have jurisdiction over this, and I can't rule over this. You haven't been here long enough, so I would have needed to have another 6 months or something." And then of course now going in Pennsylvania, black man trying to get his child. It was a wrap. Then I didn't even have a chance to get in front of the judge.
Yeah.
It was that fast.
That's crazy.
So
Yeah, so I think ultimately that's why she was able to do it. And you could see in a story, he said, okay, first of all, you married a singer, songwriter, actor. Like you know what you married. This is not, it's not like you don't know. And it's not like you don't know what it takes to get at that level. At the level that he's successful in both categories, those are major categories.
Yeah.
So the type of personality you have to be. So when he gets passionate and he's dedicated, it is to be assumed he's locked in.
Yeah.
You would never think that Denzel is a lackadaisic, like when he studies somebody or whatever, he just kind of, okay, read the script, blah, blah. No, he immerses himself in that person's life, visits them if they're alive, visits their family. He's gone doing research for months at a time just to research the character. So you knew what you were marrying into. And he said, she had never seen him in that role. Okay, cool. I'll give you that. But you knew what it was.
I wish that he delved more into that, because I think that is where the key lies.
It's 100. I mean, based on his story, she started laying the groundwork once he started diving into his work. You don't find me attractive anymore?
Right.
That was bull, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that was so shady.
Like, bro,
just
I
like-
gave you 10 months. I just get 3 weeks to focus and work. I don't love you anymore. Like,
Part of the reason that you love me is because of who I am, my notoriety, right? I mean, you can't say, no, it has nothing to do with that. That's bull, right? That's part of the reason. But you have to understand that when he's doing Fast and Furious or whatever, like, he's at the set, they're driving cars. They drive real cars. Like, he had to learn that. Like, I mean, it's the same thing with music. Mel, obviously, I never did music like this, but you are in the booth.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there are times when my dad, like, he just was in the studio and I'm just like, bro, can we leave? We've been here all day. Like, so what happened is he's not giving her time. He's not giving her attention, which makes her feel unloved. Or, oh, I guess he doesn't like me. It's like, girl, go do something. Go on a trip.
That's so immature. Not to mention, y'all have a baby. So you, in order for you to get the bag, you broke up your family. Like, it's
the values are mixed up, man.
it's so disgusting, man. Like,
That shit hurt.
and you don't even have a conversation with this man,
Bro.
He almost lost $1 million. I don't think he actually got sued, but they were going to sue him because he left
$750,000 because he left that set.
because he left set to go and try and save his marriage, and then he gets there and she's already gone.
Bro.
She found out that he was on his way. Like, come on, man.
That is, dude, it is crazy.
That's how you know it's shady.
And then not even having a conversation, he says that he watches her walk up. And this is how you know he never loved her or she never loved him. He said that she walks up and she drops the baby off as if it's daycare.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, how, I mean, literally, he was acting at this point.
Yes, of
he was
yeah,
just like,
I felt that too.
yeah, but he was. But was it not? I felt it.
It was definitely true.
He was acting, but he also made me feel
very
it.
vivid.
Yeah. And it was just like, I just want you to just look and be like,
Yeah.
But and as an actor, like, and a hopeless romantic, right?
Right.
In love with love.
Yes.
He wants to see that, but that's how he experiences love, or that's how he's trying to experience her pain in that way. He's trying to understand, and she's showing nothing.
Nothing. Cold.
5
years in a house, bro. I'll go to neighborhoods.
Right.
I'll go to neighborhoods and get nostalgic.
Right. Like,
and
dang.
this ain't a person. It's a neighborhood. Like, I'm looking around in my old house and stuff. You know what I mean? You start reminiscing.
I drive by my ex street. I'm like, fuck this street.
I mean,
You get something.
You got
something.
something.
Like, he didn't say he wanted her to break down crying or he wanted to see some emotion.
Some
emotional
emotion.
reation. Something.
Which
So that
led
you
him
cared
to,
in
which
some
led him
capacity.
to come to the point of, did you even ever love me? Like, no, she didn't. She liked you. She liked the idea of you. She was attracted to you, but was she in love with you?
No. Soft target. And it's crazy because in all of this, and this is obviously just his side of the story, but I don't know. Clearly, she has not put anything out because he wouldn't be able to say this if she had put something out.
Everyone would be able to refute it.
Right. So it would be like, no, she said she talked to you and da-da-da-da-da. So It's like, at what point in this story was she ever even a wife?
Bro, she wasn't. They have a chef, right? So if they have a chef, then they have maids. She has a nanny.
Oh,
so
she didn't have nothing to do.
bro,
with it.
She wasn't even a wife.
She's bored.
She's bored.
So of course she needs his.
But I thought she had her own job or whatever. I thought she had a job.
She probably did have a job.
I thought she had a job.
She's
like a profession, like
she's
a
a
career.
somebody. She's something.
Yeah, maybe like a lawyer or something.
She probably did.
Yeah, I thought she had
But
that.
that
So that
doesn't-
would at least keep her busy.
That
right?
doesn't.
Nah.
Not really. No.
Yeah, but here's the thing: just having a career is not a home. It's different.
Yeah,
Like,
true
you
that,
get-
but as far as like occupying your time, if your husband's, working on something.
You know something I get satisfaction out of?
What?
Why'd you?
I whispered something. But
Oh, I get satisfaction out of cleaning, and then having someone appreciate it. Right? No shots. I'm just being serious. Right? Like, it is a feminine energy that comes out in that moment. Right? It's doing something. It's also my love language. My second love language is acts of service. So I enjoy
Yeah, that makes
doing
sense.
stuff, right? And it's also feminine energy, and then even being shown appreciation, even if it's just thank you, right? Even if it is just right. So obviously, I don't know her love language. I don't know her. I don't know anything about her. But there is a level of satisfaction that a woman, which is a feminine energy person, will get from doing something like cleaning or doing laundry or whatever, like folding
Yeah.
clothes, right?
Yeah.
There's a very feminine thing, and they get appreciation from it, or they get a good feeling from it. And if you're not, there's a level of satisfaction, and if you're not doing those things, then you're going to feel unsatisfied.
Well, you're not needed.
Right? He had a nanny. He had a cook. I mean, like, the nanny's taking care of the child. He's cook. I mean, they're. I'm sure they have a maid. They got a nanny. They got a cook. They got a maid. So she's not cooking, cleaning, or taking care of the child. What does she do?
So outside of him doing the whole Will Smith thing,
yeah,
what is she doing? And so and that's the conversation that needed to be had, right? But the crazy thing is, like, why are you letting the nanny raise your child? Like, especially if you're there. I just find that so weird that we'll easily let somebody else raise our child, whether it's
they're busy.
Well, she wasn't too busy. She wasn't busy enough to keep herself busy so she didn't leave.
They're busy. Oh, I'm with Tyrese, man.
You're gonna have less time now that you done separated from your husband.
Those are some of the best times, man. You know what I'm saying? With the child when they're younger, those are some of the best times.
at what age?
Well, they're at
0 to 7.
every 0 to 7. Every age, newborn or infant, right? And then you have the toddler, and then I don't know what the 5 to 7. I don't know what that would be. It's not toddler.
It's an adolescent.
Okay, adolescent. They all have their own, benefits. Like there's in different stages, and they grow so rapidly, right? So there's different things that you can experience. And so, as me personally, I don't necessarily enjoy newborn stages. I didn't enjoy the toddler
not for
stage.
men.
Right.
It's not for
What, the
me.
pooping and changing diapers?
I did it, but it's like I didn't like women were like, oh my god,
Yeah,
you
I'm
baby.
good on that, man.
I don't enjoy that. Like, cool, they look like aliens. You know what I'm saying?
It's just not for
They look
it's
like
not for-
aliens?
They do. Babies look like aliens.
Like, you want is this mine?
Yeah, like it's like, bro, you don't even look like me. I said, hey man. But
Like,
yeah,
doctor.
yeah,
He
yeah,
came
yeah,
out
my
real
nose.
light skinned.
Yeah, real light
Came out looking
skin.
like Hector. Like,
You know what I'm saying? No.
Oh,
shit. I'm like, hold on a second now. But now, right, 7 and 9, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm now ramping up. I'm like,
Yeah.
You with
I'm
it.
getting more involved, and I'm talking, I'm having conversations,
It's fun.
This
man.
is now we're starting to move into dad
Right,
time,
right, mhm.
right? I feel like dad time really kicks in at about 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, so 10, 11, 12 in that range. Then it's like, okay, now I like these stages.
So the mother creates the foundation because the mother's the first teacher. We all recognize that.
I agree.
So she creates a foundation. She nurtures the person, boy or girl, boy.
Don't say person.
The
person.
The
boy.
birthing person.
the birth person.
Nah.
And then once they have that baseline of love and nurturing and knowledge, now the father starts to focus that energy to, whatever.
Yeah, I like that.
What about the? Did y'all see the other video with his, I guess, current girl?
Okay, yeah, let's touch on that.
What
real
did you
quick.
feel about that? Because
Oh, was that the one where he was sitting down and she was standing behind? I didn't know about this situation prior to seeing that video.
Okay.
Right? So I saw that video that you're just talking about, and then I learned about the prior situation.
Same thing. You could still talk.
yeah, but
What do you mean same?
I didn't. No, I saw it the same way.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I didn't understand the issue.
Oh, really? You didn't either, Steve?
I didn't. No. When I watched it, I just glazed through it. I was like, I don't understand I don't.
Okay, so
They said that. Okay, go ahead.
okay. The issue that I had with it was, this is your dude, right? Like, y'all are serious. Y'all are seriously dating, and you tell the world that, yeah, you weren't even my first choice. It was your partner.
Okay.
Bro, that's enough. That's a red flag. That's enough. That's enough right there.
Even if it's true.
true.
The fact that it came off your lips. You know what I'm saying? In public.
In public, unprompted.
Right? Now, if we're at home having a conversation, and for some reason it's real talk, right? We're
Right.
deep, and it's like, yada yada yada. I mean, it's like, bro, you can be honest with me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I can understand that. I don't. I mean, come on, man. What kind of ego do I gotta have to think that I'm going to be every woman's that I've ever been with
Number
their
one
first choice?
Yeah.
Right? What kind of ego do I have to have? What kind of narcissistic personality would I need to have? Right? So it's assumed that when we grow up, that one woman is not looking for Steven. You know what I'm saying? So it's assumed. But why? What would make you come out of your mouth, right?
Say Paul Walker. I really like Paul Walker. Man, he was cute.
And not just that, Chris. I don't know if this is where you were going with this, and because I don't want to steal your thunder. But number one, is him and his wife divorced? Are they actually divorced? Or are they going through a divorce? Or did he not say?
We don't have enough information.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That doesn't really matter. But regardless, it's recent, right? So this wasn't
Within a year, maybe.
Okay, that's recent. You're married.
He said 2 years. He's been with Zelly for 2 years or something like that.
He's been with the new girl for 2 years?
Yeah, either that
No.
they've been, him and his ex been away from each other for 2 years. Good.
Okay. Either, regardless, KS said that you 30, you need to detox the relationship 30%, right? So if they were together for 5 years, it's 30% of 5 years. One year, year and some change.
It's like 2 years.
All this math y'all be trying
Well,
to
no.
do.
You're supposed to be the math one. That's married, but that's married. That was married, so they were together even longer than that. So let's just say 2 years minimum. But then you talk about a marriage, and children are involved. I would add more to that, right? So let's just say 2 years, which he should spend alone.
Sure.
And I don't believe that he did that at all.
No.
It sounded like he had a rebound.
The way that
100%. He said it.
The way that he said it was, because he said she's not supposed to be here. She just, like it just happened.
He said some people don't need to go through that stuff alone.
Which
I felt that.
Right.
I felt that. But the reason he said it is because of his poor mental constitution.
He's justifying he's justifying that. And he uses, because he understands a level of the mental health and psychology and therapists, because he's been through it. You can tell that he's been through it because of the way that he talks, the words that he uses. I mean, it was clear to me. But so he uses that to justify his own actions. But I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree. I don't think that you need to, when he says, well, some people don't need to go through things alone, I disagree. I think that you need to go through things. Now, when you say alone, that if she wants to be there for you and be there to support you, that's okay. But that doesn't mean you need to be in a relationship with her. Like, so in AA, they teach you after, anytime that you start AA, you start going through the program, you start working the steps or whatever. The one thing that you do not need to do is make any large life-changing decisions, right? Which typically is going to be, if you have a job or a career, do not change your career. Don't quit your job. And don't get into a relationship, right? Because this is how you build codependency. And this is how you build those issues. Because now you're not building a relationship based upon love. You're building a relationship based upon a trauma bond. So now she loves you because maybe you were soft and she had the same trauma, or she went through the same thing. And now you are also going through the same thing. And now all of a sudden, we just love each other, right? And then, of course, because of that, and he loves love. And now what happens? Well, I'm going to marry you, because he didn't want to be married. He never got closure. He didn't close inside of himself. So now he's looking externally for, right? He's looking externally for that. And obviously, I'm not here diagnosing anybody. And he was like, Instagram therapist or whatever. He got mad at Instagram therapist. And he was like, I'm an Instagram therapist too. Right. But it's like, bro, we all see that this is wrong. Mm-hmm. It's a clear, no one is going to say, yeah, man, this is a good thing for you to do. Like, this is, it's
there'll
good.
Be some people.
It's good for you to, he didn't leave the relationship. If he left the relationship, I give him a little slack, right? He got left.
He got
apparently
ghosted by his wife.
Blindsided, ghosted, blindsided. And you think that you're going to be able to just pick up the pieces and within a short amount of time? Like, no, bro, you are filling her shoes with another woman who clearly does not love you.
No.
I mean, so this is why the Instagram therapists are going hard on him. Like, bro, Tyrese, this is bad.
He needs to drop that girl like a bad habit.
They won't last. They don't seem like a couple.
What if she gets pregnant?
The crazy thing is, it wasn't just the fact that, I like Paul. It was your old. She said there was like a couple.
She ran a list.
She ran a list. Y'all don't know.
I thought they were just being playful. I thought they were being playful.
Even if there's a lot of truth in just.
I will grant you that argument. Let's say they were being playful. It's a bad look for Tyrese, 100%, no matter how you spin it. If they're playing, you don't play like that. Yeah. Like that's a bad look.
I mean, he was being, throughout the entire broadcast, they were being silly. Throughout the entire broadcast, he had his glasses on, talking in a silly voice. It's just being silly. I thought it was being playful. I mean, when it comes to the woman expressing that she has this, I guess, admiration for another person, I can understand that in a sense, because when I was with my ex-girlfriend, I told her, I was just like, I was looking for a black chick.
I mean, that's...
You know what I mean? I mean, granted, it wasn't exposed to the world, but I told her...
You're talking about a race, not another woman. I mean, if you say that, listen, I was looking for a black chick and you just happen to come along and I'm happy with you, that's one thing.
As far as like pinpointing a person,
let's make it make sense for you. The last relationship you had in Cincinnati, the before you left. Okay, that girl. Imagine if let's just say y'all were still together, or at least y'all still were like interacting, and she's like on Instagram. Y'all are on Instagram. Y'all doing a little podcast or something. And she's like, yeah, I never told you this, but I always liked Chris better than you. Like, you were like a second choice.
Oh, we squaring up.
Exactly.
There you go.
Like,
so stop. That's how you should feel.
That's my man. What the fuck you mean?
Right.
Yeah. Stop playing. Like that's what
they were. What she said, like Paul Walker or whatever. Yada yada. I mean, that was his man's. They were on set together. Yeah, they worked together. You know what I'm saying?
That's his boy. Yeah.
Just because he's passed on or whatever, don't mean nothing.
Got you.
Almost worse.
You don't do. Yes.
Almost worse.
Like you don't do that.
Yeah.
So you don't play like that. That's all I'm saying. I think it was a playful broadcast. I agree with that. I'll grant you the argument. But
the fact that he doesn't see it.
You don't play with that. I mean, I'm sure he felt it, and I know the comments did. Like, she shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
All right, Tyrese, do your thizzle, man.
Do your thing.